got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today we got installment number. Honestly, I lost count of this because we did so many of these, man. We got Chicago drill lyrics that really happened. It just dropped from my guy Hip Hop Daily, man. So listen, we ain't doing no more talking. Let's get it.
Chicago rappers don't just talk about things they saw in the past. They rap about real situations going down in the streets, including stabbings, kidnappings, murders, and other crimes. Here's a closer look at some Chicago drill lyrics that really happened. G Herbo, crazy. That night we lost Kobe on the 8 block, had that Glock beside him. G Herbo's one of the most respected rappers to make it out of Chirac. With hits like PTSD and Cry No More, Herb has made it pretty far in the industry while staying true to his roots.
With no jail time either, man. Come on now, Herb gotta be the smartest out here.
But that don't mean his come up was easy, and Herb has lost multiple people close to him to gun violence growing up. In this bar, Herb is rapping about his close friend, Jacoby Heron, aka Kobe. Kobe was killed back in 2013 after leaving a party that Herb was at too. Kobe was killed around 4 a.m. on August 10th, 2013 after being shot several times outside the McDonald's on the 2400 block of East 79th Street. Before walking by McDonald's, Kobe was at a party with Herb and Lil Bibby celebrating Bibby's brother's birthday. They were on the block shooting dice, but Kobe suddenly wanted to go home. They tried to give him a ride, but he said he'd rather walk because it was only a few blocks. Just minutes after leaving, Kobe was shot several times in the face and body while he was walking by McDonald's. Herb and the rest of his crew ran over to see what happened and found Kobe dead on the street. Kobe was one of Herb's closest friends, and the murder hit him hard. He would later shout him out in songs and named one of his mixtapes after him called Ballin' Like I'm Kobe. No one was ever arrested for Kobe's murder.
And the crazy thing about that situation, like, imagine if that was Herb that said I wanted to leave out, because I think Herb said he was gonna go with him that night, because if I remember this story correctly, Herb said he wanted to go with him when he was leaving the function. Imagine if they did that to Herb, man. That's crazy. Like, I know that gotta fuck with his mental.
Named one of his mixtapes after him called Ballin' Like I'm Kobe. No one was ever arrested for Kobe's murder, but it's rumored that he was killed by a rival gang called KTS. Kobe was a member of No Limit Muskegon Boys, same as Herb and Bibby. They was known to beef with a set of the GDs called Kill to Survive. It's rumored that dudes from KTS saw Kobe walking by himself that night and took him out. KTS Vaughn and his brother Dre, the gang's two main rappers, often diss Kobe in records and on social media, leading many to believe they were involved. But Herb ain't the only one to rap about real shootings in Chicago. Lil Durk also dissed one of his ops who was shot in the head outside a funeral but survived. Lil Durk, 248. An OPP got hit in his TOP and he ain't even died. Lil Durk is one of the biggest stars to make it out of Chicago. Even though his career has had some ups and downs, he's managed to keep a loyal fan base and has outlasted many of his peers in the industry. After 10 years, he's still topping charts and was recently featured on some of 2021's biggest albums. But Durk,
like, can we really appreciate that though? Like, just how much of an elevation Durk has had in his career. And I feel like right now in Durk's career, now he's starting to get to the point where he's having I don't know how to word it, where he's having actual industry hits. Before, like, and I fuck with Durk heavy. I've been fucking with Durk since from the fucking start, since L's Anthem Durk. And I feel like from that point on, for so long, he's had hits, but it was like, you know, street hits, like, you know what I mean, like platinum in the street type of hits. Now he's moving on to, you know, his shit hitting billboards now. Like he you know, but he always came with that pressure. Just now he's getting more eyes on him. You know, a lot of people say it's the Drake thing, but I think Durk been had a wave, man, definitely.
He stars to make it out of Chicago. Even though his career has had some ups and downs, he's managed to keep a loyal fan base and has outlasted many of his peers in the industry. After 10 years, he's still topping charts and was recently featured on some of 2021's biggest albums. But Durk came from the trenches and is known to rap about ops from his old neighborhood. One of his main ops is another rapper from the South Side named FBG Wuski. Wuski is a GD rapper from the Flyboy gang founded by FBG Duck. He was part of STO EBT, who's known to beef with O-Block and OTF. Durk and Wuski have been trading shots back and forth for years. But Wuski's rap career was slowed down after he got shot in the head outside a funeral in 2018. In October 2018, Wuski went to the funeral of an MOB member named Dusky the Man. Dusky had got shot a few days before, and it was rumored that the BDs were behind it. O-Block and 600 was trying to catch Wuski lacking ever since he dropped the track Computers Remix, where he dissed several dead BDs. Right after the service ended, Wuski stepped out to smoke a cigarette when a car pulled up and shot up the front of the church. 5 of the people who were walking out of the building were also hit, and Wuski suffered a gunshot to the head. He was rushed to the hospital and miraculously survived. He suffered minor brain damage and had to relearn how to walk and talk. Eventually, he made a full recovery and has even returned to rapping. FBG Wuski ain't the only GD to send disses at the ops.
If I was Wuski, I would get the fuck out of Chicago, man.
In this next track, Ruga took several shots at a dead member from 600. FBG Duck and Ruga Exposing Me remix. A Baldy got smoked by a tree, run up on him with a stick and smoked him like a leaf. Now they chalking up the street.
That was the first song I heard from Ruga when that dropped.
FBG Duck was one of the most popular GD rappers from Chicago before he got killed back in 2020. Now his cousin Ruga has picked up the torch and made major moves in the industry. His song GD Anthem has racked up millions of views, and he was featured on the track OK OK from Kanye West's Donda album. But many fans first heard about Ruga on the Exposing Me remix alongside his cousin FBG Duck. Exposing Me was a song by King Von and Mimo 600 that dissed Duck's brother FBG Brick, who was killed in 2017. So Duck and Ruga made a remix of the song and went twice as hard. In this bar, Ruga is talking about a dead 600 member named Baldy, who was killed in 2011. Marcus London, aka Baldy, was a respected member from 600 and Front Street who was close with dudes like Fredo Santana and E-Day. On Sunday, July 17, 2011, Baldy was walking with a friend on the 6000 block of South Prairie Avenue when the car pulled up and started letting off shots. Baldy was hit in the head and his friend was hit in the ankle. The friend survived, but Baldy was pronounced dead at the hospital. After Baldy died, 600 started going by the name Baldy World in his honor. So Ruga had to even the score for dissing his dead cousin by getting out of one of 600's most respected fallen soldiers. But Ruga ain't the only Chicago rapper
I feel like though with Ruga, I don't think he really be on this kind of time anymore. Like when he first, initially, like he'll be dissing, but I feel like now with his music, I think he kind of owns something else. I don't think he be dissing like that. I mean, he still go hard for his side, you know what I mean? But he ain't going, I don't think he on that level. You collabing with Kanye. Now, I saw he was on the freaking Millennium Tour. He was talking with Lord. Like, Ruga really making some big industry moves, man. I feel like, he trying to stray away from that and just focus on the bigger picture at the end of it.
By getting out of one of 600's most respected fallen soldiers. But Ruga ain't the only Chicago rapper to talk about real situations. This next artist raps about all the people he lost to gun violence while he was growing up.
Polo G.
Tim died, we threw up T's. Twin them died, we banging L's. I wish they ain't never leave. For killer, K's to the brain. I'm scoring if I catch the G's. Forever stunning like I'm Durb, I keep a few tricks up my sleeve. Polo G, painting pictures. Polo G is one of the hottest rappers in the game right now. With hits like Rap Star and Finer Things, he's made himself one of the leading artists of this new generation. But the rapper still comes from humble beginnings, and growing up on the north side of Chicago, Polo has also experienced a lot of losses. The rapper grew up on the 1300 block of Hudson Ave and Sedgwick Street in the Cabrini Green district. The rapper is allegedly from the 1300 set of the Vice Lords. In this bar, he shouts out his dead homies that he lost during his come up.
I never knew Polo G was a Vice Lord. I don't know why I never knew that. Did I know that? I don't think I ever knew that.
From the 1300 set of the Vice Lords. In this bar, he shouts out his dead homies that he lost during his come up. Tim is the nickname of a dude named Devontae Lofton, a close friend of the rapper who was killed in 2014.
Just like
Tim was murdered at just 16 years old after a shooter on a bike shot him several times in the parking lot of the Evergreen Terrace Apartments in the 1300 block of North Cleveland Avenue. Tim was loved in the neighborhood and was close to Polo. After he died, the 1300 Vice Lords went by the name Tim Gang in his honor. But Polo lost 2 more friends to gun violence just a few years later, which are the next 2 people he raps about in this song. In October 2016, Edwin and Edward Bryant were killed in a drive-by while standing on the 1300 block of North Hudson Avenue.
Twins.
Edward was a star basketball player at Marshall High School, and the twins were both popular and well-known in their hood. They were the brothers of Polo G's close friend Lil Wuski, not to be confused with FBG Wuski. So in this bar, Polo claims that he and his gang are known to throw up L's to pay tribute to the Bryant twins who were taken too soon. The next person Polo shouts out is his homie Killer. McCurvey Smith, aka Killer, was shot and killed in November 2014. He was found in a car in the 400 block of West Evergreen Ave with multiple gunshot wounds. He was shot while he was driving, and his whip crashed into several other parked cars before coming to a stop. 3 men were later arrested and charged with Killer's murder. In this bar, it sounds like Polo is saying that the dudes who murdered Killer were from the Gangsta Disciples. The rappers claimed GDK in the past, and the gang is known to beef with the 1300 Vice Lords. In his next bar, Polo shouts out his uncle Mike Jones, aka Mike Durb, who died in a car accident in 2018 at the age of 36. Polo has shouted out Mike Durb in other songs, and in a genius breakdown for the song Deep Wounds, Polo said, "Mike Durb, that's my uncle. He passed away in a car crash right before I made it big. Oftentimes, I think about what life would have been like if he was still here. I remember him telling me he got me no matter what, and to call him if I need him."
That That's real eerie to me, you know. And I feel like when I hear stuff like this, you know, I really believe that, you know, you got a guardian angel and somebody that really is looking out for you, like big time. Like he could have really like pointed Polo in the right direction to stay focused on this music thing, and now look where Polo is, you know. Like that's crazy, man.
Like if he was still here. I remember him telling me he got me no matter what, and to call him if I need him.
Like I got you no matter what. Like he could be like always with Polo, you know, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like just that energy, just that presence, and you know, kept Polo continuously doing it. And Polo probably didn't even realize it. Now look where you at right now. Like I don't know. I think real deep into things like that, man.
Any situation, and he knew I was gonna make it big off this rap thing. Mike Durb ain't the only Uncle Polo rapped about on this track. Earlier in the song, he also shouts out his Uncle Lamp, rapping, "They killed Lamp, he took 3 with him, they all know what your name about." So in this bar, Polo suggests that his uncle was a true gangster, and when he was killed, he took 3 people out with him.
Damn.
Polo once shared a picture of himself with his uncle when he was a baby, right before he was killed. He also wrote, "That's the first pic I ever seen with me and Lamp. My uncle was a real gangster. I know I done said that shit before, but this shit for real. He died in a shootout and sent niggas up with him. He was a GD from the Greens and one of the only ones I'll ever have respect for. Cause, you know, but long live Lamp G." Black heart emojis.
That's deep.
So even though he's still pretty young, Polo G has seen a lot. At least now, he has stories to put in his raps that fans know are for real. But Polo G ain't the only Chicago rapper to talk about his losses in the streets. This next artist raps about a few people close to him who either passed away or went to jail before they could see him succeed.
Smart.
Lil Durk, Try Me, Remix. Free Rondo number 9, he just caught a body. R.I.P. to Wuski, my cousin called me. I see my cousin bleeding, I damn near lost it. That's why I gotta ride through all the op shit. Lil Durk is known to diss his ops in his music, but sometimes he also pays tribute to some of the people he lost coming up as a rapper. In one of Durk's early songs, he shouts out his homie, Rondo number 9, who's currently serving a 39-year sentence.
Look, this nigga Rondo, man. Niggas gotta give this man his flowers. And I'll say this every single motherfucking time Rondo number 9 is brought up in the video I react to. So many niggas in the game caught inspiration not just from Chicago, but from this man right here. So, man, listen, some of these rappers' names, Quando Rondo. I'm pretty sure, like, I ain't gonna say that's where he got it from, but come on now. Everybody in all their songs, I'm with the 9 like I'm Rondo, Rondo number 9, like they all use the same lyrics. Man, Tekashi Snitch 9, he even caught inspiration from Quando. Come on now. I said from Quando, from Rondo number 9. You know what I mean? Like it's always been like this nigga has been one of the forefront. And I feel like a lot of people don't see that, especially a lot of people that's just now starting to get into Chicago drill. They don't understand just how big of an influence this man has had on the industry, man, for real. On some real shit. I still ain't seen nobody else pull out a rocket launcher like Rondo.
From Durk's early songs, he shouts out his homie, Rondo number 9, who's currently serving a 39-year sentence for murder, along with his cousin Wuski, who was killed in 2013. Rondo number 9 was one of the most promising rappers from 600 during the early days.
Rondo would be where Durk is right now. I say that every time. Rondo would be exactly in the position that Durk is in right now. He'll be one of the hottest in the fucking game right now.
Chicago drill. With hit tracks like Play for Keeps and Taliban racking up millions of views on YouTube, many thought he was the next rapper from Chicago to make it out. But before he could reach his full potential, the rapper was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the killing of a cab driver named Javon Boyd. According to prosecutors, Rondo and another 600 member named C-Day killed the cab driver after a party on the night of February 21st, 2014. Boyd was killed while waiting to pick up a customer. Rondo and C-Day were at a party with some girls and their friends. After they left, the girls stuck around and someone ended up firing shots after a fight started over the music. According to the prosecutors, Rondo and C-Day came back looking for the men who fired the shots and ended up killing Boyd because they thought he was somehow involved. They were both convicted of first-degree murder in 2016 and sentenced to 38 and 39 years in prison. In the next bar, Durk raps about his cousin Wuski, who got killed in 2014. Wuski was an up-and-coming rapper signed to OTF who started building a buzz with the track OC. But before he could make it out of the streets completely, Wuski was killed while sitting in a parked car on the 700 block of East 87th Street.
Can y'all imagine if Wuski was still here and Durk still signed Von? Can you imagine Wuski and Von on a track? Come on, man. Wuski, Von, and Durk.
a shooter walked up to the SUV that Wuski was sitting in and fired multiple shots, killing him. Wuski's killer was never arrested, but many say he was murdered by a member of 051 Money Gang named 051 Melly, the gravedigger of Chirac. A rapper from 051 Money Gang named Lil Mark had been killed earlier that year after dissing Durk and other rappers from 600 and O Block. Then Durk released a video where he made fun of Lil Mark at the spot he was killed, so many think that Wuski was murdered as payback.
Damn, camera cut off. But yeah, Chicago drill lyrics that really happened, man. RIP to everybody that, you know, passed on from this video, man. Definitely, I'll always say Chicago will always have just that big influence in the game, man. Like, there will never be nobody else, nowhere else as influential as Chicago was. I mean, other than New York, like back in the 80s with hip-hop, the 70s and the 80s. But right now, Chicago has been reigning supreme over this game right now. And just the realness and just everything about their music, and that you know that it's all factual when you listen to that shit, man. Like, they ain't capping about nothing in that music, man. But link down below in the description for y'all to check it out in its entirety, uninterrupted. Y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me, want daily reaction videos, man. Hit that subscribe button for me. Till the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta